Do you feel that you're doomed to repeat the same toxic patterns that your parents and maybe even your grandparents went through? Do you find yourself reaching for a bottle as an answer to all of your problems? Like maybe you seen your grandpa do when you were little. Or maybe you keep magnetizing in abusive relationships. Or find yourself having the same types of arguments that maybe you hated watching when you were a child. If you're experiencing some of these patterns, you may be dealing with generational curses or trauma. When I bring up curses, everyone freaks out and thinks maybe they might be living a curse, they've been cursed from the dark side. Well, sometimes this is possible, and you can't really appreciate the light until you realize and experience the dark, right? The human experience has a balance of both, right? So don't freak out and think that you specifically have had some dark attack from a dark force, but maybe someone in your lineage did, or this curse and the trauma is passed down through the DNA and into you. What I know right now is that there are many people who are born right now, and it is their duty, it is their mission, it is their responsibility to overcome these generational curses and heal the bloodline, okay? These cycle breakers are destined for the job. If this resonates with you and you are different than the rest of your family, and maybe you want to be different, maybe you've tried their way and you want out, right? These are the people that are the black sheep of the family. They are the transitional characters. So when I broke free from the generational curses in my family, I realized there were so many others who were just like me. And I found some of them in groups that I joined and connected with. That's when I knew that it was my mission to help others break free as well. So let me go over real quick what some types of generational curses are. So if you're asking yourself, hey, is this me? Because it's not just addiction that you can experience, although that is a very common one. But there are other things, and these include like violence, generational trauma of any type, addiction, codependency, hoarding, teenage pregnancy, a poverty mindset, right? Single parenthood, dying young, overworking, experiencing prejudice, idolatry. You put money, sex, drugs, materials above yourself and your spirituality, incest, divorce, having children out of wedlock, abortions and adoptions, gold digging or being attracted to gold diggers, right? Gambling, promiscuity, having affairs, toxic parenting habits, depression, anxiety, being like unforgiving, having no forgiveness, manipulation and control issues, social isolation, laziness, rage and anger. I know there's plenty more, but now let's talk about what we can do to start breaking these generational curses. The first step is to dig into your family and find out any more information if that's possible, right? So I always suggest you draw a genogram or like a family tree outline, okay? And then you want to ask all these questions and you want to write the answer. Like, did anyone have children before they were married in the family? Did anyone go through poverty? Was anyone in jail? And then go back and, at least to your grandparents, but sometimes if you can find out information and go even farther back, it can be really beneficial. And you'll be able to dig up some information, and this will help you see where maybe some of the trauma or the curses are coming from that is in your family. So if there is codependency or addiction, maybe the men in the family are only attracted to gold diggers. I see this a lot. But I also see like women, it can experience like people pleasing. But it's really the same side of the same coin, right? It's codependency. Each sex experiences it a little bit different. Like although I'm a female, I have been attracted to types that wanted to live in my house and drive my car. Sort of like the same thing. So it can go both ways, but it typically starts in the family, like on one side, a specific sex, and then sometimes it can skip generations, and then again, some things they're just totally different. So when you go back in your family tree, and maybe there was like addiction or alcohol abuse all the way back, right? But you specifically don't have addiction, but maybe your trauma manifested in your life as having low self-worth. Or maybe you have money blocks, right? You just cannot seem to get money and keep money. So as you can see, trauma is passed down right in our DNA. And this has been proven many times with epigenetic studies. But what you have to do is realize that you want to be the one that makes the change for your family and then take the steps to break free. It's not easy, okay? But it is possible if you really want change. So I'm going to offer you a spot in my private group, the Healing Hub. Many of our community are breaking free from generational curses, and they know that this is their destiny. And we will provide tools and tips that you can use to get started breaking away today. So click the link below in the description box to learn more about the Healing Hub group, and let's get you breaking generational curses.